Today we're going to talk about some conventions and shortcuts and just getting acquainted with Mach 5. Once we open, you notice there are three tabs up at the top: Main, Mixer, and Performance. These are the three main views, or three main ways of looking at Mach 5. And depending on which elements are being edited at any given time, you may need to float between these screens quite frequently. Now, I want to mention briefly the functionality of the mouse. Particularly in Mach 5, the scroll wheel comes in handy. We flip through many menus and sift through a lot of data. And also in the mix window especially, right-clicking can come in handy because we can bring up our submenus very easily. If you don't have a right-click function, that's okay. You can use the Control key, and that will bring up those same menus. Also in the mix window, fader movement is very common. We can use the Option key, holding it down and clicking to return the fader back to 0 very quickly and reset that channel. Moving faders around can be a pretty sensitive operation, especially when only using a mouse. If I click and drag, it gives me very coarse volume adjustments. Now, if I simply hold the Command key and make those same adjustments, you'll notice the values on the decibel meter get very small, so I'm able to make fine-tune adjustments. So in getting started with using Mach 5, we have to know how to load sounds. And we do that by choosing an empty channel on the left here. Double-clicking brings up a series of menus. We're going to float through our hard drive, applications, and we're going to look for a specific folder titled Mach 5 Sound Files. Now in this list, there's quite a bit to choose from. We have grand pianos, percussions, drums. There's one in particular that's great for getting started, this universal loops and instruments. In that menu, I can choose from a series of loops to get me started: piano sounds, organs, acoustic guitars, all the way down the list. Now there's quite a bit to choose from in the Mach 5 sound library, so take your time to get acquainted. If you know, however, you're searching for a specific sound, say an acoustic bass, you can search by category and go directly to a list of those kinds of instruments. And then it's a matter of selecting OK, and that should load your instrument into that channel automatically, and you can click and play. Now let's go back to the main edit window and talk about the sub-navigation that's listed below. We have an Info tab, Edit, Effects, Event. Under Information, we can change specific parameters for each instrument, and they vary from sound source to sound source. Our effects include everything from parametric equalizers to reverb units and exciters. And finally, the event window, which would contain any value changes in MIDI data. Now, within the main edit window, we do have some visibility options. The icons on the right-hand side here, when toggled on and off, show and hide certain aspects of the edit window's functionality. Now, I can turn them all off but one, and when I try to turn that off, one is always on. So you can try different combinations depending on what you need to see. Now, once you have the windows selected that you want to view, you can further change their arrangement also. When I bring up a sample here, let's say I wanted to view this larger, I could simply grab the bar and make it smaller, make it larger. Now, this way I can customize my edit window so that I can not only eliminate panels that are unnecessary, but I can also fine-tune the adjustments of those windows that are open at the time. So take your time experimenting with different combinations and arrangements of the edit windows. The overall look and feel and organization of the interface is what allows for creativity and productivity to flow successfully. On that note, thanks for watching, and good luck with your projects.